Hi guys, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad you're watching video 2. If you haven't seen video 1, make sure you watch it. This video here, hope you got your popcorn ready, is on surface area. So if you watched video 1, that was area of an irregular figure, and that is a 2-dimensional object. So now we have 3-dimensional, and we want to know the surface area of this figure, which means if this was a Kleenex box, we want to know how much cardboard makes up that box. Okay? So we have to kind of pick this apart, and we have 6 faces. The faces are the flat sides of our box here. So first we have our top and our bottom, which I'll outline this in green. Okay? And the top and the bottom are the same area because these have to fit together. So the top and the bottom are equal area, and the left and the right side are equal area, and the front and the back. So I make a chart like this, and I start with a plan. We have rectangles, so we know we're going to use base times height for each of these pieces. And since the top and the bottom match, we're going to double whatever our answer is. So I'm going to say 2 times, and now we need to do base times height. So now you need to put in the measurements. So we have the base, and we have the height, which is 12. Because if we have opposite sides, again, of a rectangle, if you watch video 1, opposite sides are equal. So if this is 12, then this line here is 12. So I'm going to mark that. And we need the base on the lid here. So we have 6, so this side is 6. So we're going to do 6, which is the base, 12, which is the height, if you were looking down on the figure. So 12 times 6. So we have 72. And then we're going to double it because the top and the bottom are the same. So if we double that, we get 140. Okay? Now we have the left and the right side. I'm going to change colors here. I'm going to go blue. Now 12 is the length here. Now we need the height. We need to know how tall that panel is. So if we look across here, we have 3, which is the height here, and we know opposite sides of a rectangle are equal, so the height is 3. So 12 times 3, and we're going to double this because the left panel is equal to the right panel. So we have 36, and then we double it, and we have 72. Now, we have the front panel and the back panel, and I'll draw those in red. And again, we need a base times a height because it's a rectangle. The base is 6, the height is 3. So we do 6 times 3, and it doesn't matter the order. We're multiplying here, so it could be 3 times 6. And then we're going to double it. So now we have 18 times 2. Okay, so the top and the bottom, the left and the right, the front and the back. We now have the 6 pieces of our figure, and we want the total surface area, so we have to add these together. Okay? And since we're talking area, this is feet. Whoops, I'm running out of room here. Feet squared. So again, you want to find the area of each piece and then add it together. Now, if we talk about a different shape, okay, this is a triangular prism. And I'll just remind you, prism means that the floor and the ceiling are the same shape. So we have a triangular prism. We're working with different shapes now. And this is a right triangle here, which means that each of our side lengths are different. So the side panels that attach to those are also going to have different measurements. So you have to pay a little closer attention here because number 1, we're working with different shapes, so we have different area formulas, and number 2, the measurements are different for the side panels, so you have to watch that. So if we look at our top and our bottom, our plan for a triangle is base times height divided by 2. Or you could use 1/2 base height. Either one of those is okay. But base times height divided by 2. If you look at the floor of this triangle, we have the base here, 12, and the height is 5. If you were looking down at that triangle, the base would be 12, the height is 5. And another hint to help you pick out the measurements, because we do have a 13 up here, you want to look at your right angle. And as I told you in class, when we first learned this, it's almost like there's two little arrowheads here pointing to the measurements that you need. So that's just a little reminder to help you find the lengths that you need there. So we have 12 times 5, so we're going to say area is 12 times 5 divided by 2. Now, the bottom and the top are going to be the same, and so we would want to double this. And if you think about, if you divide something in half and then you double it, you are kind of canceling that out. So if we go one step at a time, 12 times 5 is 60, and then half of 60 is 30, but so the area of this triangle is 30, but this is also 30 because it's going to match. So 30 plus 30, or doubling it, undoes the dividing here, and we end up with 60 back. So the 60 is the top and the bottom of our prism. Now we have our front panel. If we look at the front of our figure, and again, this is a very visual thing, you have to kind of think like you're looking straight at our figure. If you're looking straight at the figure, the base here is 12, and the height is 15. So we want to do base times height, that's our plan. And we would do 15 times 12. And again, that work can be done over here on the side. And 15 times 12 is 180. So we have that panel. Now remember, our measurements here are different, so our side panel over here is not going to be the same as our front panel that we just took care of. So if we look at our side panel here, that's this side right here. Okay, picture yourself looking at it from the side. We need a base length here and a height which is going to match the height that was given over here. So this is 15. So we have 5 and we have 15. So our right panel is 5 times 15. And when we do 5 times 15, we get 75. Now we have the back. And I'm going to kind of erase my markings that I made so you can kind of see this a little better. If I'm looking at the very back panel, that's this panel right here. Okay, so almost like you're looking from behind. And we need this measurement here, which is the slanted side of our triangle. Okay, right there, 13. And then we need the height, which is 15. So the area would be 13 times 15. And when we do that, we get 195. Now, again, we want the total surface area. So if this was a box, you would want to know how much material makes up that box. We add the total together, and we end up with 510. And in this case, we were given meters, so we have meters squared. So the surface area, SA, is equal, and remember to put a circle around your final answer because we got a lot of pieces here. So there you go. Great job, guys. See you tomorrow.